Hi everybody, this is Black Rhino Ranger, just doing yet another commentary on my animations. This time we're focusing on the Skyrates, which is a Skylanders parody of the Pirates, band of Misfits, aka an adventure with scientists. This one has a full title. It's called The Skyrates and a Band of Misadventures with Ponies, Transformers, and Mr. Men. And it's one of my longest, clocking in at 21 and a half minutes. So let's go. By the way, notice that the symbol over there is a bit wider because this was stretched out. It was originally in the 4.3 format where, yeah, and believe it or not, this is the last time I actually had an animation done in a 4.3 format. As nowadays I would use the 6.16.9 ratio format. Now, in case you don't know, earlier there was a firefly scene that was Ray from Princess and the Frog. So now they start raiding the ships, and there's Rhino and Dow. Now originally this video had annotations, and I used them to pinpoint which character is which. Who's a Skylander? Who's a My Little Pony character? Who's a Transformer? Who's a Mr. Man? Who's another character? Because the annotations got removed, so did people. So people have to ask me who's who. Yeah, this thing was a. Is that Pingu, the pirate over there? And then he just tosses. Oh no. Sorry, that was an ad. So then there's a Darth Vader poster. There's Fred Flintstone. Now here's something I forgot to mention in my previous Skylanders Christmas video. Now, originally, the Skylanders Christmas was supposed to be Hanna-Barbera focus, and I was going to try and include as many different Hanna-Barbera characters as much as possible, and have Fred Flintstone be the voice, and try and voice as many Hanna-Barbera characters as possible, like Fred Flintstone, Yogi Bear, George Jetson, Hong Kong Phooey, and several others. But had it not been for my love for Skylanders, I probably would have gone with that instead. Anyways, I see the Roadrunner over there. Just filling in. I say mostly because Joe Sargent is the only robot. I say Drobot. It is half robot. Anyways, this is the only time you see the giants, and the only one that was missing was Eyebrow and Ningini because their pictures were not fully revealed at the time. I could only draw whatever I could with. In fact, I included I think I included every character every Skylander except for Eyebrow, Ningini, and the. Ostrich part of Ozzy. This is again another animation I did that was a collaborative effort. I had more female voice actors in it than I have males. Even though I play most of the characters, like Tarklops and Sunray. There's the Leviathan from the Leviathan Lagoon. Now I probably should have tried to include more Mr. Man characters. Now the ones I drew are based on the 2008 Mr. Man cartoon, and I should have probably included a few more, like include more at the background, because they're so simple to do, like maybe Little Miss Neat, who's my favorite Little Misses in the books, and maybe cameos of Daredevil and Calamity. There's the Cecil, the turtle who fought against Bugs Bunny in a race. For those who don't know what a Meganeura is, it's a giant dragonfly from the Carboniferous period. That's what they said about a baby. That's what I thought for Sparks. He's a baby Meganeura. Over there, that's Skyla. That's a pony character that didn't appear in the show. She just appeared as a toy, and I think she represented an alicorn, an early stage of an alicorn. I was hoping she would appear in the show so I can do a little parody of that. I sometimes would like to try and have the Cutie Mark Crusaders dress up as the minis. This had nothing to do with my Skylanders MLP trailered videos where I have different castings. Even though I often pair Spyro with Twilight in terms of combat and fighting, in the in those trailer parodies, I had Fluttershy as Spyro because of the scenes. Oh dear. There's another one. Yeah, these ants. So, now here's another thing that was kind of foolish for me to do. I thought I could ask an official voice actor of MLP who has a YouTube channel like the voice of Sweetie Bear and the voice of Apple Bloom to lend in their voices in this, but I didn't know anything about rights and stuff because I was living in a different country. I wasn't. Oh, by the way, Sparkling Vampires. That's a Twilight reference. Now, here's a funny thing. In the original Pirates band of Misfits, they originally had the scene where the pirate captain raids a ship. It turns out it was a boat full of folks with leprosy. Unfortunately, this offended the organization called Lepra, and they asked them to take away the joke. So the final result, they replaced leper with the plague, and but I think they should have went with "This is a zombie boat." Tickets to Walt Disney World, Florida. This is referencing the time I actually have been to Walt Disney World in Florida. I had a really fun. Yeah, the only thing really terrible about it is that I accidentally deleted all my Animal Kingdom photos. Let's just say it was the first time I knew what the word reformatting was. I plan to go there again someday, hopefully as soon as I can before Dinoland USA closes down. At least I kept one picture from that ride. Now, had I done this animation at a later date, I probably would have included a lot more Nickelodeon characters like the Loud House and maybe Aang and Korra from Avatar. But again, I'm not looking forward to remaking my old animations except for my Christmas Redux one. By the way, the Cartoon Network characters I showed earlier, they were representing the ones who actually got a Cartoon Network Invasion episode. Foster's, Billy and Mandy, Ed, and Eddie, Jim Partners a Monkey, and Camp Laszlo. There's a Morph cameo. Now, like I said, the ratio has been stretched. It was originally a 4.3 video format, but it was late. But the second part was in a 16.9. Keep an eye out for this watermark over there, and if you know what I mean. Got hit by a frying pan. Now, see, it changed. And they're just singing the song, which is the Captain Hook song, which, with the original voice and stuff like that, there's Chaos as the thing. I still had trouble figuring out what type of marking on his forehead it should be. because I keep associating chaos with Quan Chi. Upside down trigger happy still. That was my favorite gag. That was a Predacon symbol. You could say the roughness of the animation gives it a bit of an artistic flair. It's a plank symbol. Kind of like Ed and Eddie, their animation is quite rough. Is it better to have clean animation or to have animation with a few rough edges to showcase some artistic skills? Something like that. Hook in my hand. There's Starscream. There's Shockwave. Maybe I made him into wet cement. Oh dear. Gone to Nepal. Still like the upside down gag, doesn't it? Perhaps I should have tried and utilize the fact that they're pirates or have the ability to do some tricks a bit more. And by the way, this year I had Dark Spyro as a separate entity from regular Spyro. This I always thought that Dark Spyro shouldn't really be the same as Spyro. I thought it should be the brother of Spyro because in the 3DS version of Spyro's Adventure, he's got different moves. That's enough for me to separate him. And funny enough, in the Skylanders Academy episode Split, Dark Spyro became an actual separate character from regular Spyro. Heck, they even have different voice actors. Justin Long, regular Spyro, and the Jason Ritter for the Dark Spyro. I wonder if they did the same for Dark Stealth Elf. What do you think? Who do you think should voice Dark Spyro? Kelly Hu, who played Dark Stealth Elf. Should it be Kelly Hu, who plays Devora in Mortal Kombat, and Stacy in Phineas and Ferb? And she's a character who's best friend with Candace, who is voiced by the voice of Stealth Elf in the Skylanders Academy show. The classic Clapton No Splash. Now, this is not just a parody of the Pirates band of Misfits. It's also a parody of Peter Pan and Pirates of the Caribbean. It's the Diamond Dogs there. And is the now the legendary characters being separate from this was actually an idea from a friend of mine at school. I didn't back then. These were the only variants. The legendary Spyros, legendary Spyro, Bash, Chop Chop, and Trigger Happy, and Dark Spyro. Later down the line, we would have other variants like Granite Crusher, Jade Flashwing, Enchanted Star Strike, and some more darks like Snapshot, Stealth Elf, Blast Zone, etc. Apparently, and the guy who wanted the legendaries to be included give him godlike powers. And for some reason, Lightning Rock is also one of them. When we were playing, this Now, this crocodile boat thing is a reference to Davy Jones's The Flying Dutchman. This was improvised by a friend of mine back in school in 2010. I haven't been in touch with him since then. And this one's my favorite gag. So he's out of guns, so he uses Twilight as a gun, just like in the wedding episode. Drop the hammer. There's a water thing, and he, oops, he's out of. I love to do the eye thing because Flamsinger is blind. I was wondering, could he ever see it? And he went. You see Ravage against Scootaloo. This the Chompy. Emergency jetpack only. This was to toil with the fact that Scootaloo couldn't fly. Did she fly in the last problem? I can't remember. And return of the cockatrice, and he is once again turned to stone. Don't worry, he'll be reformed later down the line. Yes, the rotting Robbie's only weakness is fire. This was meant to be like a parodying The Wizard of Oz or that scene from Antraco Notre Dame. Now, the Star Saber was from Transformers Armada, and that is the purple Autobot symbol, referencing the time Transformers had so many animation errors, including wrong symbols. And he sucks up the Boon Fiend, which is basically a reskin of Trigger Happy just without the ears. Had I probably remade this today, which I'm not really planning to do so, I probably would have had the Doom Raiders as the pirates. This Sap doing the skid thing, there was a bit of a rendering error with that causing the frame rates to be lowering the frame rates. But there's the Klutz thingy, that derpy pony that was created by Discord. Mr. Rude does his usual farts. Yana Inferno. Mr. Rude. Oh, pardon me. And this is the first time I included the famous Wilhelm scream. Decepticons retreat. This is referencing the fact that, in fact, Soundwave said that when Starscream was in charge, it was a lazy way for me to do the animation. I used the transformation tween. I do have other ways of showcasing transformation. I used the ball circle thing, and I drew every character I could into that ball thing. Here's a reference to Jungle Book and Robin Hood. Now, this scene here, now here's a funny thing. There was originally a deleted scene where I have Chop Chop kiss Queen Chrysalis, and it was like the ending credits thing, but I cut it because there's not too much point. There wasn't too much, there was no point to the story. All the legendaries took away Darksparrow and retreated to the clouds. So, who's he left with? He's a gun to his head. Looks like he's left penniless, except with a gargantula there. in the rum in the barrels. The barrels to where's the rum gun? Yes, the classic Peter Pan song, the TikTok instrumental. Did you know that was the instrumental? It was an instrumental of a deleted song. They kept the instrumental, but the song got cut off, and yet it's one of, if not the most popular deleted songs. Never smiled at a crocodile. Another. Now, here's a fun fact. Crocodiles are all born naturally with teeth. So Gummy, without any teeth, I was like, maybe he can attract and retract, showcase and retract them, just like Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon. There's those birds, and they all have a similar voice at the end. they used the I used the clip from Finding Nemo, the mine. And you wonder who caused the birds? It's Hex. Pirate of the Year's awards. Here it is. And the winner, who's the winner? The Skylanders. Oh my gosh. It was a reference to Rainbow Dash in the original. Oh, I gave Sweetie Belle some fingers. Oops, I gave Rarity some fingers too. She's out of candy. There's Bugs and Daffy. I think that's the first time I think I do Daffy alright in this one. So yeah, that's it. There's not much else to talk about with this animation. At the time, this was the longest animation I've ever done. It's like another parody of the Looney Tunes That's So Good, but he says, forget it. That's it. It's kind of like Looney Tunes Back in Action when Porky, he tried to say, good night, Porky. See you tonight. Go home, folks. So yeah, that's the Skyrates. The first thing, not too bad for the first short. Sure, nowadays it does have its problems, and I probably should have overlooked at some of the problems. But at the very least, quite proud that this one got over 1 million views. Would I do a remake on this? Probably not. Like I said, that dedication takes me too much time. I want to do some dedication to the Christmas Redux as much as possible, and that's not easy. I want that, and it's just also I'm getting a little tired of pirates, let's say. So yeah, I probably shouldn't be using the pirate songs. You see the Drunken Sailor parts, they were supposed to be to be continued or continued from part 1 segments, which unfortunately they got cut out when I merged them together. So yeah, that's all I have to say really. Thank you for joining me on this commentary. I'll see you in the next one. Hope you've enjoyed this video.